Hello, Education 380, Education 500, Dr. Allen here. I'm going to go ahead and give you a heads up. I'm going to try to do this in one take because I have already messed up 2 times before this. So this one's going to probably just going to go with it. Number one, everything that's been posted up to the Google Arts and Culture has been fantastic. It's been great seeing people faces on there. It's one reason why I like to do that assignment. It's just kind of an icebreaker since we're asynchronous. Also, thanks to a lot of you, I'm pointing out in the hallway because we have a little life on campus this semester. A lot of people have stopped by and introduced themselves or stopped by and asked questions. That has been great. It's great to see. It's nice to actually just have a nice flow going on here. And one other thing, someone asked me this, and I think I wanted to make sure I said it. I'm pointing at my wall, I like to point. I have my office hours posted. Don't worry. If I'm in my office and I'm just sitting in here or not, you're welcome to come by and ask me a question. It just, if I'm here and you have a question and it's not office hours, that's not a big deal at all. I'm here to help to ask questions. So please stop by and ask, especially because once I start to go out with student teachers, there may be times where I might not have, I'll have office hours and I'll have a little note out in the field. So please, if I'm here and you see me, you can ask me a question anytime about the class. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. I hope everyone has been surviving. It's been nice this week. It's like seeing the traffic, people walking across campus. It's kind of normal. It's nice. So this week, this is on the syllabus, but just so we know, we're going to create a website this week. I will be the first to tell you this is either something people love very much or they hate with a passion. So I like to do it early for a few reasons. One, it's a very intuitive type exercise, so it gets you used to working with tech. I think it's one of the clunkier, and I don't mean that as a knock, it's just things that we do. So I think it's good to just kind of get everyone in that tech frame of mind. It kind of gets you thinking and how to be creative a little bit and design things. We're going to talk about 21st century skills here in a second anyway. You get Tech Like a Pirate, Chapter 1. I'll go ahead and just talk about this. He's going to talk about a few things about using technology. It's a very simple chapter. That's one reason why I like the book. It's only a few pages. He actually references Top Gun, I think, in it, which is kind of funny because I think he's referencing the old Top Gun, not the new Top Gun. Also, he's going to talk about fail. It's a concept, or like when you try tech. I think that's self-explanatory, but I'll go ahead and say it. You know, don't be afraid to try new things. And if it doesn't work, it's okay. You know, just reflect on it. Try it again if you want to, or see why it did or didn't work. Was it on your end? Was it on the student's end? Was it a delivery issue? You know, it's teaching. It's reflective teaching. And there's going to be things when you teach that work instructionally. There's going to be things that work technology-wise that you're going to love. There's going to be some things that you try in terms of instruction, and it's going to be a disaster, and you're going to say, I'll never do that again. But some people look at that disaster and go write some notes and maybe try it a different way, and it works. So basically that's what he gets into. I don't think it's a revolutionary type topic, but he does a nice job, you know, breaking things down, I think, in the way he writes. Also, since I'm on the topic of the web or the book of the book, I'll send a link out. I don't know if I did last week, and I think I mentioned it. There are a lot of templates and resources on this site. They're all free, so feel free to check them out. There's one actually on Jamboard, which we're going to talk about next week a little bit. You can see now he has a TikTok template. I think that's new, and some snapshots. We're going to talk about some of this stuff actually later in the semester, but if you want to check it out, it's there. The technology, I think I mentioned this last week, but just to kind of get you in the rhythm. We'll have 3 assignments this week. One is the technology, which is going to be a website. You're going to create a website. Then you're going to do a blog on whether the website is yay or if it's a tool you would use. And you also have a discussion on Chapter 1, Tech Like a Pirate. The other thing I would like you to do, make sure you have a Google account. I have a feeling most of the free world at this point has a Google account, but you will need it for next week. So it's nothing, I'm not checking to see if you have a Google account this week, but just make sure you have one. But the free things this week are going to be website, blog, discussion, website, blog, discussion. And most weeks it's going to be the tech blog discussion. With that being said, there's a few things that are on the syllabus. I just want to highlight two, just nuts and bolts. The one is, I'm going to go all the way down here, and I'm going to deepen this up a little bit. It's a little clunky. If you hear a noise, they're out there drilling for some reason, and I don't know why. So if you hear something that sounds like a woodpecker or something tearing down my wall, it's that. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Another thing it's referenced on the syllabus, I do want to just make sure I touch base on it, is 21st century skills. At the turn of the century, there was like this big movement to, we need to have these skills for the 21st century, for the 2000s. This is in the year 2000. It seemed like yesterday to me. I think probably most of the people in this class were born after the year 2000. So you've probably lived a lot of these, but I do want to acknowledge them because you do still hear them thrown about in schools and classrooms and all. They're pretty simplistic, but I think they are a good core set of skills, really not just in teaching, but just in general. What the goal was, I think there's kind of two ways to kind of look at this. One, it's the skills you want your students to take away from your schools or from their schooling and from their education and from the classroom. And also there's 21st century skills for educators. We're going to look at it from a student point of view first. And I do have an article on skills for teachers. I'm not going to get too bogged down on it, but you're welcome to check it out. What are the 21st century skills that we want our students to have? There is a long list here. Well, did I just, there it is. There they are. The 12 21st century skills established in there. You'll see there's a long list: critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, the literacy, but information, media, and technology, that's the tech ones. Flexibility, leadership, innovation, and productivity and social skills. Initiative, I should say. Sorry, I spit that out a little quick. Those are all nice, but really for this class, the four that I want you to focus on or just be familiar with are these four. The 4 C's. Your students should be practicing critical thinking. So whenever you're using technology, you want to make sure that there's, a critical thinking aspect to it. Trust me, when you're doing these websites, there's going to be some critical thinking probably going on, or moments of you think your sanity may be going. Creativity, again, I'll reference the websites. You can make your websites design. I used to have my students use some of these, and actually, I'm going to show you how to make a website, but I think students also can do these. Weebly and Wix and all used to have free accounts, and students would design them, and they would get really creative. Collaboration, of course, you want your students to be able to work together and work with other people, and of course, communication, that can be a lot of different things, but that can be communication with one another, communication with adults, and as they get through, communication in a written fashion, communication in a verbal fashion, communication in a technology, tech like a pirate fashion. So the reason I bring these up is when you do, this is towards the end of the semester, but when we do the lesson plan brainstorming type activity, you need to list some 21st century skills that your students will be taking from the lesson. If you stick to the 4 C's, you will be fine: critical thinking, creativity, and collaboration. There are other skills, and you are welcome to use them as they were up there. There's the literacy skills, information, media, and technology, and of course, the life skills. But when you hear that, that's what we're referencing, or I'm referencing, because I'll probably say it multiple times this semester. And there's the 21st century teacher skills. And I'm not going to break this article down, but you're welcome to look at it. A lot of them are actually the same type of thing. So a little more globalization, if you probably caught that there when I was scrolling. All right, so let's jump into these websites. I promised you I'd try to keep these videos not too crazy. I do just want to, I'm going to jump around this PowerPoint because I don't want to read it verbatim. But I'm not going to get into e-planning too much today. That's something I have on here. I'll make note of that later. So let's just focus on the websites. All right, we're going to create a website. And as it says, in a 21st century classroom, there are a lot of advantages both to you and to your students for using a website. So for teachers, it's a paperless classroom, accountability, differentiated instruction, organization and management, communication. As you can see, newsletters, blogs, announcements. Now, I didn't say this when I just jumped right in. We're going to make a separate website. A few things with that. One, I know the schools now have their own learning management systems. LMSs, Schoology in Berkeley County, for example. A lot of teachers now use those for all this information as opposed to the website, and that is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I just think you need to have some sort of platform that you're doing a lot of this. Some of those platforms actually allow you to make a website, a separate one, so it might be something you explore once you get a little more comfortable in your wherever you're hired and working. But I still kind of liked having my own website in some ways, because if I left the school, I didn't lose everything, because I kind of had built it, and I switched schools 2 or 3 times. And when I had a website, it was all there for me. Heck, some of it was just good because it was a place for me to go back to, and I could pull it up on the board very easy. So for example, I had an Apple TV. I would go to my website, and if there was a PowerPoint, I already had it loaded up on my website, click, and it was up. I'll show you my website here in a few minutes. I kept it. It's getting a little dated, but I think you'll see. For students, again, got into that collaborative learning, it allows students to collaborate. And what I'm talking about there, talking about their assignment and their work, they can pull stuff up and help each other out. It also gives you a home base, so to speak. If someone's absent, they can go to that site and they know where everything is. And the relevance of bringing a 21st century classroom, it makes your class look not so dated, I guess, so to speak. Sorry, my Apple Watch was making it if I look like I was looking down. It makes your class look more strong, so to speak, and strong is not the right word, more up to date, more fresh, so to speak. All right, for parents, communication, again, it gives you a streamline. It gives parents a place to go to find information. And again, your LMSs should do this also, but again, very similar type thing. Transparency, if you're posting things up, if you're keeping things open line of communication, and it helps keep parents on the ball. As a parent, I will be the first to admit, it's nice to go to a place and know where you need to go to make sure your student is on the ball also, or your child. So again, it's good to keep these things up to date. So even if you don't use a website, make sure you're using whatever your school provides to kind of keep up to date. And there's a lot of different websites for teachers: Google, Weebly, Wix, WordPress isn't listed on here. And as I said, schools sometimes provide that. For this class and the assignment that we're going to do, I'm going to show you Weebly because that's what I use. I used to do National History Day at one of my schools, and it was something, they've actually ditched it, but I liked it a lot. It was pretty simple, I thought, to use. I do not care for our assignment that we're going to do if you use Wix, WordPress, or Google Sites. That's another one that a lot of people seem to like. And actually, Google Sites seems to be getting more and more popular. I'm just, for the video, going to show you Weebly, but you're welcome to check anything out. I have links to videos that are up to show you from YouTube to show you how to do things, and a lot of people are already familiar with it. I will describe most of these as plug and play, and I'll show you. You're basically going to slide things over and drag them. Do I have it? That's a screenshot of mine. Why don't I just pull the actual site up? This was my old one. It's very simplistic. I had my 8th grade social studies stuff when I taught that, and I had my files all there. As you can see, it was just listed. That was a lot of my West Virginia stuff, history stuff. And then when I did 7th grade social studies teacher, I think I've referenced that before, but if you did, you'll figure it out now. And you see there's things up here that I had my files. I usually put mine up always as PDFs, by the way, just as a note. I think most people probably have learned that lesson over time. But if you put something up as a PDF, it's usually a little easier to open. And then I have fair stuff and all. So I actually did a semester of language arts, so I always kept my stuff up there too if I needed it. But social studies fair, I had there. But that was my site, and I used that. So why don't I just do this? I'm going to, let me show you. I'm going to do it on there and such. This PowerPoint is up, and it's got the directions. And as you can see, you're going to go to Weebly.com. There was something called Weebly Education. It is closed now, and I'm going to log in and show you a little bit here in a minute. But what you'll do is you can see when I talk about plug and play, these are the things. You're going to have a toolbar on the side here, and you're going to have pages, and you can add the title and you can add the pages. So when you put your title there, it's awesome. And then when you click there, it'll add pages. So like when I have these are the pages. So there's my home, there's my title, there's my another page, so to speak. And again, there's handouts and saves paper, things like that. This is a little dated, and I probably should. I'm actually exploring. They just closed Weebly Education out, but it's nothing important that you need to do anyway. But usually, your students should have access to be able to create sites. So if you don't want to just have your own website, you want students to do it as an assignment, I will give you a little bit of advice. Come in with a game plan with any form of technology, because you need to have organization and steps set up, because students, just like all adults, are all at different levels with their ability to use technology. But Weebly is free, and that's another thing I should say. All these websites do not do the upgrades, just do the free ones. But you can do different sites. I think I had a student say, oh yeah, for sixth graders, I had my sixth graders did a website on the Red Baron. Oh, I'm sorry, World War I. They had to pick someone from World War I. And I had them just do a little homepage. She did the Red Baron and Snoopy. And as you can see, they had to do a little bio. I didn't take screenshots of that. And they had to post a little History Channel style biography on there from YouTube. I have my students on there, and they actually, a lot of parents, mounted back and thought it was neat. So just have an organized game plan if you're going to have your students do it. All right. Few things. You're going to need an account on one of these sites: Wix, Google, Weebly, or WordPress. You're going to create a brief website. This is not supposed to be detailed. You can go detailed if you want, but I'm not requiring you. You just need some base level stuff. You need a title page with your name. You need a header, so to speak, where you're going to place a handout of some sort or a link, and a video. So for example, you could tell this is a little bit, I should say, bright space. So let me just show you. I want to go to the site, and I'm going to go ahead. I have already showed you that, so I'm going to close that out. And if you go, as you can see, I'm going to go to Weebly, and you're welcome to, like I say, if you're familiar with another one, some people like Google and WordPress especially, you can log in or sign up. Most of you are probably going to have to sign up. As you can see down here, those free websites get started, but do not do anything that you have to pay for. All right, I'm going to log in. I'm going to show you. This is very exciting. I have some test sites in here, so forgive me if you see a bunch of stuff. This one is a little different than what I used to work on the screenshots, as you can see, because they did away with Google or Weebly Education. But that's all right. It's no big deal. All right, as you can see here, there's a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to go to a website and edit site. As you can see, there's my site here. Also, I believe if you go to my site, you'll get that. And that might be the easier way to go. And these are other ones that I had. But if you go to add site, which is what I'm going to do, I just need a website. There's different templates you can pick, and some templates seem to be easier than others. And by the way, I should add this. It's nice if you can clean it up, but I'm looking for three things. As long as I can find these three things, that's fine. That's the point of the assignment. So don't go crazy if you can't get everything. Sometimes with Weebly, it gets a little tricky if you're going to use it, but you'll see what I mean here in a second. I like this set up, so I usually click that one. And I'm going to hit start editing. And I hopefully should have this on the side here in a minute. Maybe. Yay. This is the thing I was showing you, hopefully in the PowerPoint. And as you can see, it's going to take a minute to load up other stuff. You're going to pick your domain name. So I'm just going to do 380 fall. Whoops. I'm not going to do anything yet. Fall 2022 FU. Search. Looks like it works. So I'm going to pick that. And I am not going to upgrade, so I'm going to close that out. Make sure you close that out. Sorry, I keep getting, my watch is going crazy. All right, let's close that out. There we go. All righty. Let's do this. My site name is going to be, you can see you can pick the background if you want to get rid of that. Some people do different things. I just usually, you can do an image, you can do whatever. Some people just do color. Let's do that. I'll do that just for fun. That's fine. And then as you kind of go in here, let's go back. As you can see, there's different names. Whoops, cancel. As you look, there's all your different sites. And as you hit, you can type in here. Let's do. I didn't change the back yet. I decided to jump that. Apologies. Hopefully that doesn't throw you off. If you don't want that, like sometimes I just do this. I highlight it and just hit my backspace button or the X and just get rid of it. Boom. And same thing there. Delete. And by the way, I don't care if you change the background or not. That's up to you. If you pick your template, I'm more, but if we look at it, let's edit it. I didn't do that. I wasn't very good about checking it. As you can see, there's other stuff down here you can clean out too. Change image. You can do that. You can do colors usually. But if you just want to do, let's do that. There we go. So you can change that. And as you can see, there's all types of stuff down here too. Oh, actually, I might do the wood. That looks very powerful. So you click that. You can actually get rid of all this too. That's actually not really that good. Let's do that again. I like that. There. Okay, that looks nice. And this stuff too, you can like not so much worry about. Let's hit save. All right. Now, again, you can clean this up if you want to clean that up. Again, you can just hit the X or the exit. And as you can see, my front page is done. Now, if you look up here, there's other pages. This is where I think I want to make sure everyone's on the same page. This I just cleaned up, and I know it's babbling a little bit, so I do have a whole video on there, but basically you can X out all that stuff, make sure your title. By the way, I don't care what class you put up on there. If you look here, we're on our home page. Let's hit services. Okay. Now I'm going to be on a different page. This is where I kind of want you to do something. If you hit here, there's pages. You can rename the title. So we'll put website. And if I just click anywhere, hopefully it should change. See right there. So now we're there. And I can kind of clean all this up. Like, for example, I said I want you to put one handout or video on there. So let's just say video on using websites. And I'll put that there. Now I'm going to clear all this off, and hopefully you'll see what I'm going to do here when I talk about plug and play. I would clean this up personally if I was you, just to get used to using it. And you'll see why here in a second. Is it a little tedious? Yes, but that's part of the fun of technology. As you can see, clean. You can integrate those somehow, and you'll see in a minute, but I want to make sure you understand what I'm talking about with plug and play. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of all this stuff. And there's different ways to do this, but I think this is the simplistic way. Okay. Now, that too, gone. All right, I talked about plug and play. Say I go back, let me click this button right here, takes me back to my toolbar. And if you hit up here, you hit build. See all this stuff here? You look down here, there's different videos that you can use and stuff. So maybe I want to put a YouTube video in there. If I just slide this over, you see that little blue line that comes there? That means I can drop it. So watch. Boom. Now I want to put a video there, right? you just find the video that you want to put in there. So let's say I want to look for, I'm gonna go out here. Let's do YouTube video on website. And I hate to say it, I'm just going to pick one, so don't judge me too much.
Hey, this is Ryan.
And we're going to put that, sorry, there we go. And I can just click to the side and boom, there it is. I would like to see one of those. And again, you can clean all this stuff out if you want. I would also really like you to put a file on one of the website pages. So for example, you have another topic. So you go on here and you say, let's just say, we'll keep team. How's that? And again, I'm going to clean this up. You can actually type here. You're welcome to do that. Like, here is a file. Actually, how about this? Here are and I put that there, and I get rid of that. And I'm sure these are wonderful human beings. I'm going to get rid of all that. Sorry, Wilson. I believe his name is Wilson. Sorry, Carl, but we're off the web page. And I'm going to click here. Now, if I want to put a file on here, which I think would be nice if you did, all you're going to do, see that? You're going to drag that over and you're going to drop it off, and then you click here and you can upload a file, and I can drag anything on there. Don't judge me too much. I'm going to drag a social studies PowerPoint over just to put it on there so you'll see it. And now the link is there. That's what I want you to do. I want you to do the title page, the website information. Well, let me rephrase that. I want you to have a title page. I would like to have website information. And how do I keep saying that? I want a title page. I'm reading website information, sorry. Whatever you want to make this page. So if you're teaching social studies and you're talking about the French Revolution, this could be something on Robespierre. So you would maybe put a video up for Robespierre and maybe a file of some sort. And it doesn't have to be a file you made. If it's a PDF that you have from prior or something, that's fine. Load that up, or a PowerPoint that you're going to use. That's really what I want for the website. Now you see there's an extra page there. I don't care if you leave it. Personally though, if you're like me, you'd like to get things kind of cleaned up. If you go to your pages, you can actually click those. You should be able to click that. Yep. And delete it. Now it's gone. Now, let me say, I'm going to say all this one more time because I bumbled it. Got my home page, which can be whatever class you're teaching. You're going to have a second page, which can be a topic or whatever on whatever you're teaching. And then you're going to have a third page, which again will have a file or something. When all that's done on Weebly, see this button right here? You have to publish it. You have to publish it. It won't take the website. So I'm publishing it. Select my name, 380, fall 2022. See if it's there. We don't want a professional. We want to hit just a, let's say, free with Weebly branding on your website. And that's when I was typing earlier. If you noticed, that was a goof that I did, and I apologize. Hit the subdomain where it says Weebly will be in the web address. We don't want this. We don't want .com. Do not hit .com. It's going to take you to that pay window. That was a mistake I made. Technology. Fail. Hit the subdomain. And there's the site. And if you watch, we've created a website. And there it is. And as you can see, there's our sites. What you're going to submit is that link. Please submit this link up here. And again, you do not need to use Weebly. If you feel comfortable using something else, if you look back here, there are a lot of different, should be helpful things. Yeah, there's things on Weebly, Google Sites, creating a Google account. I thought I had one on WordPress. If I have not put it up there, oh, there it is. Yep, here's a WordPress video. I didn't put it on one of these cool little things. Tell me, I went through the videos in the summer, but just tell me if they're old. Sometimes I miss things, or if there's something that doesn't line up, you're welcome to do that. If you're comfortable doing it without watching a video, that is fine, but I wanted to run through one. And don't forget, pick that subdomain with Weebly. Don't pick .com or it's going to ask you to pay. That is the week. So again, create a website, one of those, do your blog. And by the way, this will not offend me. You can say blog awesome or website awesome, blog down. You can even give it the thumbs down. I'm not going to use one of these. I'm just going to use my LMS. That's fine. It again doesn't hurt me. I just want you to be familiar with the tech in case you want to try it with your students or something like that. Don't forget to do your Google thing in the discussion. That is it for 380. If you are in 500, stay 1 second because I never did this last week and I felt bad. So 380, have a great week. Stop by, email with any questions. 500, I wanted to show you all something because I was rude and did not do it last week. If you go to your course content, it better be here. I didn't look. We go to assignments. Oh, where is the review? Well, basically, well, let me just go ahead and just give you the overview. I'll send out the assignment to there. I thought I had it posted prior Prom with Live recording. Actually, forgive me. I'm going to go over here. I would prefer to pull it up for you. I thought I had rolled it over. It's on the syllabus, but I guess I didn't post it. And I will take care of that this week. It should be. It's on there. Review. Sorry, I know. Don't have it on there. Ah, it's not there. Why is it not rolling over? Well, that's okay. What I wanted to tell you is you have to do, I'll email it out. I have the listing. You have to do a research paper for Ed 500. Nothing major. It needs to be in APA format, and it needs to be on a topic related to education and technology. You can go in any way or path that you want with that. It can be using a specific technology in the classroom. It can be issues with using technology in the classroom. Some people have done some things recently on the pandemic and the use of technology in the classroom. That's all fine with me. I know a lot of people in Ed 500 are in the classroom. I will send out the list and the semantics of the paper. It needs to be, and I usually go, it should be 5 to 8 pages. And it actually is slightly annoying me that I did not post, or I don't think I've activated it for you to see. And that is on me, and I do apologize. But let me see something really quick before you jump and bail on me. And I sit here and talk awkwardly to a video camera. That should be it. Let me see. Ah, there it is. I knew I had it. I'm sorry, I will send this out to you, and there should be, whoops, directions, names, there's no grades on there, so that's all right. So you can see here, you have 2 options. Don't worry, I talk about a literature review. I'm not going to do that to you, but you can either do a 5 to 8 page research paper on a topic in technology. That's it. It can be double spaced, but I do need something related to, you know, if you're brave, you can try a literature review, which I can go over with anyone if they're interested in doing that. Especially if you were thinking about doing a doctoral thing, it might be interesting to do because it's chapter 2 of a dissertation or in a thesis. But really, most people just opt to do the research paper, and that's really what I've been stalling to say for the last like 3 minutes. So do the 5 to 8 page paper. It is not due. Let's go back to our class. Yes. And Let's jump up here. And shouldn't be due till the end, but I'm scared to throw a date out. Sorry to waste your time here listening to me babbling a little bit, but I just wanted to make you know that 5 to 8 page paper. This is just like in class. I would probably be doing this, like wandering around looking for this in a folder. I'm not saying that's a good thing. And where is this? Is the 381. I usually, it'll be this week, and I'll make sure it's put. Oh, that's the spring that didn't show up. Oh, so no one's emailed me about that. The current syllabus did not mojo over. I did put it on there. It's due the last week. That would be December, the week of December 1st. I'll get that list out to you. That's why I put the 380 up. I'll post that up today. So with all that being said, whoops, and I will email that out right now. So you have that date. Syllabus is exactly the same except for that research paper. So when the course copied over, it must have not taken the 500 one. Glad we looked today. So for that, I apologize, and I will send that out right now. And before I embarrass myself anymore, I will say thank you all very much and have a good week. And email me if you have any problems. Thank you.